On this week's show, Ryze gets hit with the Nerf bat, Ekko's ulti gets smacked up as well, and tanks cower in fear of Trundle's new health drain changes. All that and more on this week's Waypoint. What's up, guys, and welcome to Waypoint, your weekly League of Legends recap. I'm your host, Andrusco. As predicted last episode, Ryze is being hit hard in patch 5.12, so let's just dive right in, shall we? First of all, the stack duration on his passive has been lowered slightly. More noticeably though, his supercharge duration is no longer 6 seconds across the board. It starts at 2.5, increasing slightly with each rank in queue to a max of 5 seconds. That's a huge early to mid-game nerf and exactly what Ryze needed. It's fine to have champions that are monsters in the late game, but before this patch, Ryze was getting solo kills in lane. On top of that, Q's damage has been spread out a bit, so it's weaker early but stronger later. Its mana cost has also been set to 40 at all ranks, further hurting Ryze's laning phase. The width of the spell has also been increased slightly, which I don't think anyone's gonna complain about, but it is the internet, so you never know. Rune Prison, which was perhaps the most obviously broken thing about Ryze before this patch, has also been changed. It now provides more damage early and less damage late. Also, relative to the previous numbers, longer root early, shorter root late. A slightly weird change, but I guess most of his power was coming from that 6-second supercharge. Honestly, I think Ryze will still find a way to melt faces. He'll just need a little help from his team to power up now. We've got more nerfs and buffs to go over, but first, I want to thank this week's sponsor, Elder Scrolls Online. It's a massively multiplayer online game set in the Elder Scrolls universe. It's like Skyrim with friends. It's got great action combat, awesome storytelling, action-packed PvP, and best of all, no subscription like other MMOs. Just pick up the game and go. Oh, and did you see the upcoming content they revealed at E3? Awesome. Seriously, you have to check this game out. It just launched on the Xbox One and PS4, and it is also available on the PC. Just head on over to gboffer.com/ESO for more information on the game. And just by going to that URL, you're directly helping support this show. So thank you. Seriously, go check this game out. Okay, next up, Braum is getting a bit of love. His Q damage is going up, and its mana cost is going down. This isn't going to make the pros pick him over the other melee supports like Alistar and Nautilus, but it's a start. Poke comps are getting pretty popular, so in theory, Braum and his shield could do well against that, but generally, the best way to deal with poke comps is to have hard engage, and Braum isn't really the best in that area. Next up, Ekko's ultimate has been increased to 100 from 0. The AP ratio on his Q has been lowered slightly, as well as his base attack speed. His attack speed per level and his mana per level have been increased to compensate. I think Ekko is in a good spot at the moment. He's definitely strong, and that ultimate change was absolutely needed. Next up, Elise was the queen of the jungle at one point, but nowadays, she is little more than a stun bot. She's getting some free sustain with heals from her spiders, but she's lost the activated spider healing on her W. That should help her sustain, but what Elise has really been lacking is damage, which is what this next change hopefully addresses. After rappelling down, her spider attacks are increased by 40% for 5 seconds. That scales up to 100% at rank 5. This, coupled with the right build, is going to yield a ton of damage. Galio, who I believe hasn't been seen on Summoner's Rift since Hotshot GG played for CLG, is getting buffed. The base damage of his ultimate is being slightly lowered, but his overall damage is going way up. Every time Galio is hit during his taunting ultimate, the damage goes up by 10% with a maximum of 80%. Combine that with the ulti's massive AP ratio, and you're looking at a devastating amount of damage. That is assuming you manage to land the perfect ult against a team with no cleanses or interrupts. Good luck with that. Gragas is getting his health regen nerfed, as well as the slow on his barrel roll. The slow duration has almost been cut in half, although if you leave the barrel for 2 seconds before blowing it up, the slow scales back up. I think the health regen nerf will be more noticeable to junglers, but the slow nerf will definitely affect his early game ganking. Lux players rejoice, you're getting some awesome quality of life buffs this week. Your shield now activates immediately, and you can proc your E the split second it lands without having to wait. I say quality of life because they're not technically power buffs, but they kinda are. You're going to land more E's and have more life-saving shields, which is awesome.
Tanks beware.
Trundle's ultimate health drain is now 35% of the enemy's max health at rank 3, up from 28%. I do wonder if Trundle could make a comeback, tank buster that he is. Needless to say, there is a lot of competition in the top lane right now. Last up, a weird Malphite change. The bonus physical damage on his W is being lowered, although its splash range is going up. It also now has a 0.1 armor ratio, which, spoiler alert, adds almost no damage. Okay, Riot, you convinced me. I'll build armor on Malphite. That does it for this week's episode of Waypoint. For more video game news and content, head on over to GameBreaker.tv. Be sure to check back every week for the latest League of Legends news. If you enjoyed this video, please like and comment below and help us reach more people. And if you want more League of Legends content recaps and updates, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, LolNationTV. I'm Kat Andrusco. You can follow me on Twitter @KatAndrusco. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you at the next Waypoint.